Alrighty guys, welcome back to Tauntaun's Tactics. We've been doing some stuff, right? We've been looking at CQB, we've got, looking at source videos, getting some understanding, and we've kind of been doing like the one thing, right? Like, looking at the kind of details of CQB and the tactics involved therein. I wanted to show you guys like a different method entirely. So you would have all heard of, violence of action, right? Particularly that showed up in a couple of our earlier videos. And you would have also heard me say and other people say, the easiest way to clear a building would be to just kind of drop a bomb on it, right? Alas, that's not the point of this game, but it could be. So what we're rolling with here is I decided to try and complete a map that we know is just full of enemy. There is no civilians, no hostages, no high value targets, nothing like that. Just enemy. And I wanted to try and do it with the most overwhelming firepower possible. Lots of explosions. Try really hard not to commit any soldiers to the structure. And purely try and clear this externally. That's what this is all about. This is a totally different take on sort of the game, at least as far as what I've been doing and what I've been showing on the channel. This one is purely seeing how much we can make go boom before we commit anyone to the structure. So that's what's about to happen. I'm going to hit play. I'm going to talk you through it as it goes along, and you can kind of see what we did. So let's go. First things first, I've given everyone a silence command. So no one's engaging while we get people into position. We've identified a number of threats. We are setting up wall charges on the fence. Now, I know some of you might think that's a waste of time. However, the intention behind this is it opens up our angles to the building without committing to the building itself. So we've identified that right here is a threshold, and we're going to work from that threshold as best we can. But we want to expand it eventually. Okay, grenades going out. Let's start those explosives. We know where some of those guys were, so we took those out with the initial grenades. And we just keep lobbing them in. Get them into the building. Engage targets of opportunity as they arise. And get more grenades in. We've got our GLAs, let's put them into action. We've run out of grenades on our first guys, so we transition. We let them come in and take security at the front. While our, in this case, I guess you could call them our number 2 guys, bring in the 4 grenades that they have on them. So we get that started. We can see here we're having pretty good effect in building. We've got a number of bodies dropping, a number of people coming out, which we can then engage as we see fit. We're expanding that threshold, as you've just seen there, and that gives us angles way deep into the building. So we're really trying to get those grenades in a little bit further. It also allows us to employ our 40mm grenades into the building effectively without obstruction. I then decided it was probably good to get an angle further up, so we set our another wall charge there at the top, so we get good angles down, and we can fire GLAs into the building that way. So again, synchronizing our engagement with the grenade launchers as much as possible. And I decide at this point, we've hit all the angles we can externally. It's now time to go internal. It's pretty safe to say the targets are all softened up quite nicely. So we're trying to get synchronized entry into the building as best we can. So we're coming through. We've engaged most of the hostiles externally. And there it is. It was just one guy left in the building. Everybody else we cleared externally without having to commit troops into the structure. So there it is, guys. Nice and quick. I just wanted to show you that it is possible to do some of these maps, especially if they're hostiles only. Possible to do them externally. Massive violence of action. Overwhelming firepower. And in the end, we only had to go inside for one guy, and as per bloody usual, it was in the bathroom. Typical. Bloody typical. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this one, and I will be catching you on the next video. Tauntaun Tactics, out.